Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball. Tonight, a West Division matchup between the Park Center Pirates and the Armstrong Falcons. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, along with Ariel McDonald, the Providence Academy head coach. And these teams come in with the same record, but a little bit different trend. Park Center's lost 3 in a row, although it was to 3 very good teams.
You know, Park Center, they're in the rebuilding stage. Over the last 2-3 years now, Coach Ware trying to get them right. It's normal this time of season playing in that competitive conference, so let's see what Park Center can put together tonight.
Yeah, the Pirates have losses to the number 1 and 2 teams in the state in their last 3 games, and then to their big rival Osseo as well. Armstrong, meanwhile, I think maybe has surprised some people a little bit this year. They graduated some talent from last year, but this has been a team that's put it together and played pretty well.
You know, Jay, when you got a big stud like Race Thompson, I mean, it's easy to get things together sometimes, even when you have a drop-off or players leaving. Armstrong right now playing well, surprising people, surprised Park Center. I know Park Center was anticipating that victory, but Armstrong hung in there for the victory. But today's a different day. With Park Center coming off 3 losses, normally coaches say, hey, we can't lose 4 in a row. So let's see what PC does.
Yeah, the first time around was a 6-point meeting over at Park Center, a game in which Armstrong built a lead and then had to hold off a late charge from Park Center. We're going to talk about key players to look at in tonight's game, starting with the visitors from Park Center, a guy that I think is a rising star. He's a freshman getting his first start tonight, but Dane Danger at times has been real impressive.
Dane Danger, son of my former Gopher teammate, Dana Jackson, excellent footwork in the paint, a young up-and-coming star. He's probably going to match up with Race tonight, so he's got his hands cut out. I mean, you know, he's got his hands and his work cut out for him.
Race Thompson, as you mentioned, certainly not only one of the best players in this conference, not only one of the best players in Minnesota, but really one of the best juniors in the country.
I mean, that's a big boy. I mean, he comes with the meat and potatoes and the whole meal. He's going to be a handful for Dane Danger. But, you know, these PC, they're very, very well organized, very, very well coached. And so tonight they're going to probably try to, you know, force Race out to the perimeter, try to keep him out of that low post, so that way their inside players don't get into too much foul trouble, make that late run in that second half, try to come out with this victory.
Thompson had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists the first time they played and beat the Pirates. Well, we'll see who can get it done here tonight. A couple of 11-5 teams doing battle. It's Park Center and it's Armstrong. Up next on CCX Sports.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And welcome back to Armstrong here as the starting lineup's being introduced to the crowd. Joining us courtside tonight, our sideline reporter is Lisa Adams. Let's go down to Lisa.
Extremely excited about for tonight is the fact that we have 2 teams that are in completely different positions during this time of the season. We have Armstrong, they've won their last 4 games. They're very confident and they have a lot of momentum. And on the contrary, we have Park Center, who's lost their last 3 games to their rivals. I had the opportunity to talk to the coach prior to the game, and they said they're emotionally drained. They've been through a lot in these past 3 games, and I said, what's your main goal for the game tonight? And he said, stick together. Don't let those highs be too high, and don't let those lows be too low. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Lisa, and words of wisdom from Coach Ware, and obviously coaches and players, you know, the doubts start to creep in a little bit. Obviously, you're coaching ball right now. You played a lot of ball, Ariel, and, you know, the season can have its highs and lows, but you kind of want to balance things out, as he said.
Yeah, you don't want to have too many highs, too many lows, and that's the difficulty sometimes coaching young players. But, you know, Coach Ware has a lot of experience coaching at the collegiate level, was a college player, and also just a really good, well-balanced coach.
It'll be Thompson and Danger jumping it up to start the game. Armstrong in red, and they control it. We are underway here. As Armstrong first possession, Park Center coming out man-to-man. Thompson with it out high, handing it over to Cameron Draper. Gabe Hostetler hands it over to Devontae Saidel, and now Isaiah Rollins. They swing it around and in baseline to Race Thompson, looking to turn and go, and a tough shot in traffic there. Puts it up and in, 2-0 Falcons.
Looks like PC early on are going to just allow Dane Danger to play him one-on-one. Race Thompson's going to probably post up a lot, so they're going to probably early on try to just see if the young fella can contain the big guy inside. But I'm sure at halftime, or if he gets it going, they'll make some adjustments.
Park Center stepped on the sideline with that ball there near half court. That's the reason for the turnover here, so the Falcons get it back. Thompson puts it on the deck and whips it across, and a little too hot to handle for Said El there. Thompson, a very good passer too, and that's probably an underrated part of his game. It's not the first thing you always notice or think about, but he has become a guy that really is a quality passer in different spots on the floor too.
Yeah, you want that from your big fella. Be a well-balanced player, the ability to do the three things: catch, shoot, dribble, and pass. So Race Thompson really working on his game and being a big piece of the puzzle for this Armstrong club.
Inside to Danger, turns with that left-hand hook, but it won't drop, and rebounded by Draper. Coach Ware from Park Center said he expects and wants his team to play a little bit slower tonight. He feels like they're a little bit tired physically and mentally, and we're seeing them maybe work some longer possessions. That's something that he is expected to see tonight and wanted to see.
And when you're playing on the road too, and you're playing against a good team like Armstrong, you want to kind of slow down, make sure that you get every value in every possession. So maybe getting up and down the floor and playing at a fast pace is beneficial for them at home, but being on the road, they want to be conservative, eliminate any kind of mistakes, and just shoot high percentage shots.
Rollins gets it into Hostetler, and a little up and under, and he gets it to go. Gabe Hostetler's first bucket, 4-0 Falcons. They come out man-to-man. Armstrong does as well, but they used they're going to get, I think, an offensive foul on the pick on Danger as he clipped the legs. We'll get a look at starting unit here for Coach Ware and the Pirates. A little bit different. They've made a couple changes from what they have been using, bringing Kahari Broadway and Dane Danger into the starting lineup. And then for Armstrong, their usual group, Said El's had a real nice season, Rollins, Hostetler, Thompson, and Draper. Hostetler with it out high, driving it into the middle. Little floater is too strong, and Park Center rebound is starting to say Armstrong used a zone against Park Center pretty effectively the first time around. Broadway inside to Danger, and he is fouled and will head to the line. Good pass and good job to take that one in. He probably realized at that point, I may not get this shot off, but I've got to attack and get to the line.
You know, they right now can't get on the board, and so they're not in transition getting any fast breaks. So Armstrong doing a good job forcing them to half-court offense, but PC's got to find a way to get the big fella involved, and then slowly but surely you play the game inside and out. If the big fella can get involved on the inside, that'll free up the perimeter players for some dribble drive moves off the dribble, or maybe even some open three-point shots.
Danger makes the first free throw. Foul, by the way, was on Draper, who definitely was not going to let that shot get up there. He came down with a pretty hard hack across the arm there. Second free throw, no good. Hostetler, the rebound here for Armstrong. Said El will bring it up. Thompson coming way out high to get it. Baseline drive here, and then a kick over to Rollins for an open three, but it's in and out. Hostetler, though, gets to the rebound. Lost the handle, but got it back out. Race Thompson going to be called for the walk as he stepped into that one. He made it, but it didn't count as he took a quick little shuffle.
Right now, you know, game's rolling a little bit slow right now. Both teams seems like they're a little nervous about each other, and hopefully Park Center can start picking up the pace here, because that's going to bode well for them, trying to get some early, easy baskets. So when you're playing on the road, that's very important.
And they get it inside to Danger this time. Thompson gambled for the steal and didn't get it, and he gets the easy two.
Looks like both teams really trying to attack each other's big man inside, try to provocate some fouls, maybe get someone in foul trouble, loosen up some things.
Thompson will step up and shoot that three, and he knocks it down. This is a guy that likes to play on the perimeter a lot. He's a very good shooter.
You know, in years past, he's kind of been out on the perimeter. So, you know, he's very comfortable in terms of moving if he's out at the three-point line, maybe cutting to the basket, but also very comfortable just stepping into any kind of three-point shot or any kind of mid-range.
Danger lost it, but got the dribble back, gives it to Broadway. Now Cook is going to step up and shoot that one. He was a little off balance and missed it. Thompson, as we said, averages over 9 boards a game, and he grabs a defensive rebound right there. Armstrong trying to get a season sweep over Park Center, which this year is not an easy thing to do. This is a pretty good team. Here's Saeed El driving, no good. Danger didn't block it, but he definitely intimidated it a little bit. And Ogechi is going to be called for the travel. So get a look at that last open look by Race Thompson. That's one thing. Danger's probably not used to guarding guys that are going to be shooting the ball from 3 feet behind the line like that.
You know, but if you got to give up something, give up the three-point shot. You definitely don't want him working and operating from that post, because you're going to be in a position where you can get called foul. So if you're going to give up something, give him the three-point.
They go inside to Race Thompson this time, and up off the board and good. He has 7 of the first 9 for Armstrong. And they go up 9-3. Park Center trying to find a spark. Kamara would be a good place to start. He's their Division I guard, number 11. So far tonight has not attempted a shot yet. Nice drive by Ogechi, and he finishes as Armstrong a little defensive breakdown. Derek Ogechi scoring it.
You know, if PC's going to win, they're going to have to run really good half-court offense. They got to be conservative, move the ball, let it swing around, wait for Armstrong to make a defensive mistake or blow an assignment, and then take advantage of it like we saw in that last dribble drive move to the hoop.
Danger held his ground nicely on that one, and there's Rollins, a tough finish in traffic. Pirates trying to draw the charge, but Rollins held off enough to just get it up and in off the glass. Broadway turns it over to Rollins. Rollins driving, offensive foul, looks like.
Could see him as he's coming down the court. Player was in position to get ready to take that charge. You could see the Euro step coming the whole time, all the way up the court. It's just a great heads-up play there.
DJ Purnell, number 22, 32, Xavier Bonner coming in for Park Center. Now also 43, Emmanuel Tamba.
Sorry, Jay. Now the pace is going to pick up. They're playing small ball now, even though they don't have anyone to really match up with Race Thompson. I would think that PC is going to try to pick up the pace, try to get them off balance, and see if they can get some easy scores.
Bonner open from 15, no good. Tamba rebounds and draws the foul. Tamba, another good young up-and-coming player as a sophomore. He's a lefty, and he gets in there and snares that rebound, and he'll head to the line.
Second chance points there for PC, able to get an offensive rebound. And sometimes when you go small ball, it's very difficult to locate players and box them out. So even if you shoot it from the outside, if you just stay active, you can get some inside, easy offensive rebounds, and maybe a score inside, or maybe a kick out for an open three-point shot.
Calvin Green, number 20, coming in, and Isaiah Miller, number 21 for Armstrong. As you look at Coach Ware there, as Tamba getting set for his second free throw. The good news for Park Center, I mean, it's been a slow start for them, but they're not very far behind at this point, down by 5, and second free throw there, no good. Saeed El stops and pops, too long with that one. Battle to keep it alive, and it's going to be out off of Park Center. So the only guy for Armstrong in the middle of all that was Calvin Green, and he's able to keep the possession for them by fighting for it.
Just staying alive, not giving up, and staying active.
See, right in the middle there is Coach Miller for Armstrong. An interesting turn. He did commentary on your game a few weeks back, and now you do commentary on his. So that's kind of cool. Saeed El driving into the middle, and the floater goes.
Now that's surprising. I mean, they're playing small ball. They could switch everything. So there's no excuse for someone to run two-man game or a pick-and-roll situation and some guy get inside the lane and make a runner or a layup. They can switch everything.
Kamara with a strong drive, and he gets his first bucket to go. He's a great long-distance shooter, but obviously we see right there can put the ball on the deck a little bit too, and it's 13-8. Miller looks inside to Race Thompson. They quickly double on him. And then the pass stolen. Kamara picks it off. He'll go all the way for the layup. Kamara headed to Idaho next season. Draper went in the air to pass that ball, lucky to get it away. Now over to Thompson, and his pull-up jumper, he just turned and faced up and knocks it down over DJ Purnell.
Early on, Thompson showing the whole repertoire. He's facing up, and without the dribble pull-up shot, he's pulling up for threes. He's inside, finishing around the rim. PC got to find a way to get him out of this.
And Purnell was trying to get a fake to get Thompson up in the air, and instead he ended up moving his pivot foot there, so a traveling call.
Steal by Kamara out there, just getting in those passing lanes. That's how they can get easy points, easy baskets. That's a part of their winning recipe. Race Thompson facing up, jab move, pull-up shot from mid-range, showing the whole repertoire tonight.
Ben Iniger, number 23, is checked in for Armstrong. His dad, Bart, one of our commentators on CCX Sports as well from time to time. Inside they go. Race Thompson proving to be a bit unstoppable right now.
You know, PC, if he's going to get the ball deep in the post like that, they got to use their fouls. They have players out there right now have 0 fouls. So instead of letting him score an easy basket inside, it's better to foul him and put him on the free throw line.
Ogechi's jumper is good, and that's a 3. Derek Ogechi pulls Park Center back to within 4 points. Saeed El is going to shoot that ball behind the screen. No good. Purnell the rebound. Inside, and a foul call as Miller was caught behind Bonner and reached over the top. First foul on Isaiah Miller.
If I'm PC right now, I'm playing small ball. So now Dane Danger, he's entered the game. But if you want to pull Race Thompson away from the basket so you can get in those dribble lanes and finish at the rim, you got to run offense out at the top of the key. Try to get him outside the paint. That way some of these guards can dribble, penetrate, and get at the rack.
Danger way short with that shot. Saeed El, nice pass, but Danger gets back to erase the attempt from Miller.
Great pass there, but Danger getting back, not giving up on the play. That's one of his abilities. He's a very mobile big guy for a 6'7". He's got excellent footwork, runs the floor well. He's definitely one of those up-and-coming stars in the state of Minnesota.
Saeed El way short on the rim with that one. Park Center, chance to cut into the lead further here. They're down by 4. Purnell to Tamba, stepping back for a 3 from the top. It won't go. There's Danger on the glass, though, and lays it in.
And they missed Danger early. He had a good mismatch post inside, but they were unable to see him. But he had the guy sealed in there, but they were lucky that he was just still in position to get that offensive rebound put back.
Thompson, a little crossover, and now asking for it on the post. He'll turn and fire. Short with that one, though, and then out off Saeed El.
If you're PC, as we watch the last bucket as Dane Danger, still stays active, still stays with it. Race Thompson probably didn't want to get that second foul there, so he let him finish in the lane easy. But if you're PC, your thinking has to be, if we have to defend Race Thompson, if he's going to catch it off the block, then we can play one-on-one. But if he gets too deep into the paint, that's when a lot of help and maybe double teams and even triple team to get the ball out of his hands and force someone from Armstrong, other players, to beat them tonight.
Yeah, Coach Ware talked to me about, we need to attack Race a little differently than we did the first game. But I'd say based on what we've seen so far, the change hasn't necessarily paid off. He's been pretty hot.
First game, they wanted to get up and down and try to, force him to run the floor and maybe tire him out. So now they're going to try to, peel it back a little bit and run more half-court offense, run organized offense with many swings of the ball where everybody touches it, and hopefully catch the defense on some kind of blown coverage.
Tamba cut off. Now back to Bonner. Pass fake, and then he shoots it. Thompson grabs the rebound. Bonner is a good shooter, and that was actually a really nice fake with a pass, but couldn't get it to drop. Thompson wanted to hand that ball off to Miller. They weren't on the same page, though. Kamara almost lost it, gets it back, misses inside, and it will stay with Park Center.
Thompson being a little sloppy there. I mean, He's taking for granted of the possession, and we teach young kids, we teach our players, every possession matters. That was a little sloppy there. He's got to control that basketball because this is a game now. It's just a 2-point game.
Inbounded to Bonner. And if you're going to do that dribble handoff, you got to make eye contact and know for sure that the guy's coming.
Absolutely. You can't just dribble pass to him. You got to hand it off to him, staying disciplined. That's the kind of things that get under coaches' skins.
Here's a shot from the corner, blocked by Thompson as Tamba. And then it's lost by Green. Fortunate to get that one back. Green trying to drive, and he is bumped by Kamara. Wasn't really a lot of room to do anything there. I think Green got kind of bailed out a little bit as Kamara bumped him.
Looked like he was saying to himself, I'm ready to score. That's one of those opportunities where you get at the ball and you say, hey, I want to get my 2 points. And he had Race Thompson outside on the opposite side. If he would have maybe swung the ball or thrown a skip pass, Race was in great position to knock down an open 3.
There's Jarius Cook coming back into the lineup here for Park Center, and Gabe Hostetler returns for Armstrong. Both teams figure to go about 8 deep, as sounds like from the coaches. Inbounded to Thompson, and it spins out. Boy, it looked like it was halfway down. And the ball saved over to Hostetler, but knocked away by Tamba, and Danger recovers.
See, that was an opportunity for PC to run right there. Race was underneath the basket, and there we go.
Tamba explodes, and we are tied up.
PC getting themselves right back into this game, running conservative offense, but at every opportunity they have, looking to score an easy basket.
Back cut here, layup is good from Miller to Iniger. Ben Iniger gets the layup for Armstrong. They go back in front. Tamba to Cook for 3 in the lead.
Now PC picking up the pace a little bit. Race Thompson looks a little tired, so if they want to take advantage of that opportunity, they need to push the pace and kind of wear him down a little bit.
Pirates by 1. Hostetler's pass knocked loose. He gets it back, though, as Cook with quick hands to get up and nearly get the steal. Now they lob it into Race Thompson. Swings it over to no one. And we get the turnover. It will be Pirates basketball.
Here's PC just really attacking that paint. They probably understand that Thompson doesn't want to get that second foul, so Coach Ware's probably telling him, hey, look to penetrate, make him help, because he's probably not going to foul, because if he fouls, he's got to leave the game. Nice.
Danger back to Tamba, and the layup is good.
Danger, just like his daddy, Dana Jackson. He was one of those early players, probably before his time, who was like a stretch four, what we see today, a guy who could pass, shoot, dribble. He could finish inside. He could shoot the 3. Here's Danger showing that passing ability that he got from his dad.
Hostetler missed. Thompson, though, gets the putback for the Falcons. Iniger will pick up the foul here, and Cook heads to the free throw line.
I'm just thinking early on, Armstrong right now, they have 21 points, but Race has 13 of them. And sometimes when one guy is scoring, the other guys are not scoring, so they kind of don't get the feel of the game and feel any kind of presence about the game. So now with Race leaving the game, let's see if some of these Armstrong players that play alongside Race can start to manufacture some points, create some plays for themselves, and score some easy points, or just kind of get this lead back.
Cook makes a pair, 24-21. Thompson does sit down with those 13 points. And just to clarify, there was an earlier one that looked like it could have been a foul on Race Thompson, but it was not, so he is still sitting at 0. And 2 Pirates are run over. It was kind of like bowling pins there as the drive down the middle took out not one guy, but 2. And it looks like Broadway is shaken up. It was the foul was a charge on Green, by the way. And I don't know if he's bleeding or is a contact lens situation possibly.
Looked like he took a good shot to the chops. He's holding his teeth.
His mouth. Yeah, you're right. Oh, let's hope he's not looking for a tooth down there. Kahari Broadway staying in there, taking that charge. And Might have a little blood on the lip, it looks like. Let's hope the dental work's still in prime position, though. That's the big thing. Obviously, you can heal from a cut lip, but the tooth thing you don't want to have happen if at all possible.
For the Falcons, returning to the lineup, number 1, Isaiah Rollins, who replaces number 20, Calvin Green.
So it will be Pirates basketball as Ogechi checks in to replace Broadway. Let's hope that he'll be all right. Obviously, that doesn't feel great at the moment, but doesn't appear to be necessarily something that would keep him out the rest of the night.
No, he did his job, though. That's part of his job. Part of his role is to be physical and to take those offensive charges, finish everything on the fast break.
Danger got it down low, but Armstrong quickly doubled him. Now he drives it baseline and scores with the left hand. Well, it looked like he was not going to have an opportunity to score that ball anymore. He just calmly dribbled out and then back in.
He's slowly bringing his team to now this 5-point lead, using all of his characteristics in terms of being able to dribble, being able to pass, put the ball on the floor. I mean, how many big men do you actually see put the ball on the floor?
Draper out on the wing here for Armstrong. Cross to Isaiah Miller. Draper driving it, now shovels it over to Iniger, goes with the reverse and scores. He knew that if he went right at it, Danger probably blocks it, but Iniger, a nice move. So a 3-point lead here for Park Center, and we'll get a carry call there on
Called an offensive foul.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that call.
Arm?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's maybe a weak call. Didn't really affect the play. I don't know about that one, Jay.
It is the second on Kamara as well, so something to keep an eye on. Another backdoor cut. Miller to Iniger. Third bucket for Ben Iniger. He's like his dad, Bart, lighting it up.
Using that basketball IQ, just simple backdoor cuts. They score points too, Jay.
Tamba driving. Kamara an open look at a 3 here, and he buries it. So 7 now for Losini Kamara. 29-25. We've seen both offenses heat up a little bit here of late. Yeah, it is a different thing for Armstrong. Obviously, you're going to look to Race Thompson, on most possessions when he's in there. Now these other guys are having to step up, and it's probably a little beneficial for them too. Here's Draper attacking. Couldn't get it to go, though. Knocked out of bounds by Park Center. It will stay with Armstrong. There's a look at Bart up there near the top row there. Longtime girls coach at Minnetonka. Rollins, little crossover, lets it rip, and he hits.
We're going to need some more from that while Race is on the bench, but now Race looks like he's getting back up, and Coach Miller looking to make 2 substitutions. But mid-range game is something that is very obsolete. It's very difficult to see players with mid-range games. But, there's Rollins there showing his ability.
And it's interesting because Coach Miller, I think, in talking with him, he is one of the guys who really does look at the stats in terms of and likes his teams to shoot a lot of threes because sometimes the numbers tell you that you're better off doing that. But at the same time, it is nice to appreciate a guy. Give me somebody who can make baskets. Yeah, sure, threes are good, but
right.
Anybody who can put it in the hoop's okay with me.
Right, but the numbers don't lie. I mean, the reason why 3-point percentages are down because it's a hard shot to make. So anytime you can get closer to the basket, you want to do that.
Thompson, an air ball on a 3 attempt there, and then we're going to get a foul call on Rollins as he banged into Kamara trying to get that ball back.
Race just still has to stay patient. Maybe that 3-point shot, he didn't have to take that. Probably could have backed him into the paint, forced double teams, because right now his team needs to score. So he might need to think about being more of a facilitator, and if he sees a one-on-one opportunity, by all means take him. But if he can force double teams, that's how you get your teammates involved, and that's how you get them feeling more energy, and then they'll play harder for you on the defensive end.
Well, that's a good sight to see. Kahari Broadway's getting set to check back in here for Park Center after getting his mouth bloodied while taking that charge a moment ago. Kamara's free throw is good. That last foul, by the way, is kind of a big one because it was number 3 on Isaiah Rollins. It's really been a fairly foul-free half for the most part, but that was the third foul on Armstrong guard Isaiah Rollins, who is a pretty key cog in their machine. So
PC, you know, they're guard heavy, so every guard will attack you off the dribble, will attempt maybe a mid-range shot, but primarily will attack you hard off of the wing or at the top of the key. So Rollins got to sit down and try to contain, keep his hands out so he can't get those tic-tac fouls.
Hostetler giving it over to Race Thompson. Finds Hostetler. Got a smaller man on him, Broadway. Turnaround jumper, rolls and drops. Second basket for Gabe tonight. Broadway cut off, goes to Danger. Now Tamba. Little hesitation move, almost traveled there. Got it back out to Broadway for a three, and it's good.
Great dribble drive penetration. Had the option to kick it to the corner of the 45.
Not a three, long two, actually.
Long
had to put on the line, looked like. Here comes Broadway back the other way. Goes to the hoop, scores, and a foul. Well, he did not let that little shot to the mouth bother him as he comes back in, makes a long two, and then attacks the basket, gets the hoop and one here.
Sometimes you got to take a shot at the mouth to wake you up, and since he's come back into this game, already 4 straight points with an attempt now to make a 3-point play. But that's what PC does. They get the ball, they want to attack early, they don't care. They want to get those dribble drive, and if they get stopped, they'll kick it out. And we saw Broadway knock down that open 2-point shot there.
Biggest lead of the night for the Pirates now, 36-27. They had a slow start here this evening, but have really come on. Saidel swings it around, Draper behind the back, but solid D to help out there. Saidel cutting, but there was too much traffic and it was stolen. Here comes Broadway. Broadway down the middle and blocked from behind by Draper, but looks like a foul call on Draper.
Draper a little too aggressive with the block, and sometimes referees, they will call a foul even though maybe there's not any contact. But you know, it's important that when you try to block a shot, you try to go for the block, because when you start to swing down, you know, that's when referees have some kind of idea that maybe you tried to intentionally foul it or try to stop any kind of layup.
You see a 9th foul on Armstrong, and the Pirates have only committed 3. There's Broadway in and out. Yeah, that's something that always is hard for kids to understand. I remember even, you know, back playing them when coaches would tell you that. But if it looks like a foul, it's going to be called a foul. Whether, I mean, it's possible you only touch the ball, but if you take a big swing or you chop down real hard, probably they're going to call it.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. You're right.
So 37-29, Armstrong now trying to find some offense. As they had a lot of Race Thompson early, they had a few nice backdoor cuts by Iniger, but haven't had a lot otherwise. And knocked away from Thompson. It'll stay with him. I think he got away with a travel there.
Yeah.
When he first got it too.
Yeah. You know, they might want to think about just, you know, maybe right before the half, trying to reestablish him in the low post before halftime. That way, coming out, he'll have some momentum and feel good about coming into the second half.
Broadway got his hand in the passing lane there and almost had a steal. So it's been Armstrong that came out pretty decent, but have, you know, looked a little tentative here down the latter part of the first half. They go inside to Race Thompson here, and he is fouled.
There you go. That's what you got to do. I mean, even though now he's shooting free throws, what he's doing now is establishing the post and establishing the paint area, but he's also provocating fouls, which means he can go to the free throw line. As Dane gets a foul there, that's what you want to do, especially going into halftime. Maybe some free throws he scores, maybe a dunk, a layup. Now he still feels good about being involved in the game coming into the second half.
Good look at that last call too, and I think it was a good one. I know Danger, you know, he felt his arms were up straight, but in seeing it on the replay, he did come with his arms over him a little bit, and those are always tough ones. You're trying to just play straight up D there, but good job by Thompson to draw that one. So 6-point lead here for Park Center. Ogechi shot fake, steps in a little bit. He traveled, I think. He ended up getting a screen from a teammate, and he changed his mind a little bit there. You could kind of see the wheels turning about, hey, I could get a little closer yet, and ends up walking.
Then Danger, he kind of confused him a little bit because he went to the low post, and so now we had a traffic jam. Yep. So that's what really caused that turnover there.
Park Center coming with some pressure. It surprised Armstrong a little bit. Green comes back to get the ball here as we go under 1:20 in the first half. Park Center up 6 on the road here at Armstrong. The dish over, here's Iniger letting it fly, and that one is good for 3. He's had a nice first half off the bench with 9.
Ogechi, strong side help. You never strong side help off of a shooter.
3-point game. Broadway to the hoop. Had that one partially blocked. Now Purnell gets it and scores with the left hand.
PC winning the battle of the 50-50 ball. Anything that's loose, they're getting after it. Second chance points there. There was a shot missed or blocked. They were able to gather it and finish inside. And as you start to evaluate the game, when winning or losing, you look for things like that to come to pass.
A foul away from the ball. I think it's on Purnell trying to deny position to Race Thompson there, but like you talked about, not necessarily a bad thing to mix it up a little bit and maybe try and frustrate him. I don't mean that you want to play clean, but at the same time you got to be physical even with a big guy like that. Layup is good for Isaiah Miller as Park Center got caught on a screen on that inbound play.
And all they had to do was switch, so early on right now, Armstrong beating Park Center with some maybe some crafty plays, but they can eliminate that by just switching.
Purnell puts it on the deck here, had it knocked away. Ogechi gets it back though, and they'll have 10 seconds to go before the half now as Kamara spins away. Ogechi will line it up for a 3, no good. Knocked loose, it'll be Armstrong ball with 1 second to go. Thompson going to want to throw a long baseball pass here. Hostetler trying to flip it up, but no chance to get that one in. So 39-36 score at halftime. Turned in more and more entertaining as the half went on there, I think.
They got raced back into the game, so they started to cut into that lead a little bit. Some of the guys from Armstrong, they were able to get involved into the game. So they did a good job cutting into that lead, but I would say that the favor has to go to PC, really kind of controlling tempo in terms of getting the ball, running conservative offense, long offenses. So let's see if PC can keep it up, or let's see if Armstrong can make the adjustment.
And let's go down now courtside to Lisa.
So clearly this game is going well for you guys, a lot better than it did last time in these past couple of games. You kind of talked about the morale of your team. How do you think that's contributed to this first half?
So far, emotionally, they're doing a good job. Our plan was to come in and play a little slower than we have, try to shrink the court on Thompson. We're getting beat on the back doors, but I think our guys emotionally are locked into what they're supposed to do, which is a good sign.
What do you hope to see from them in the second half offensively?
Really just more of the same. I think we can play a little smarter, recognize what hurt us in the first half, which was getting ourselves too far extended and then backdoor cutting us for easy baskets. So we're going to try to cut down on those plays and then just be patient on offense.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks very much, Lisa. And Coach Ware, we'll hear from Coach Miller as well. 39-36 Park Center at halftime. We'll have first half highlights and then more basketball here on CCX Sports.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School on CCX Sports. We've got a good one. We expected it would be, and it's looking good so far. Park Center on the road leading the Falcons 39-36, as we'll check out some highlights from the first half of tonight's contest here. It was actually Armstrong leading early. Race Thompson lining up and knocking down a three. He had a solid first half, especially early on. Here's Derek Ogechi driving. That one kind of helped get Park Center started. They've been really cold offensively early. Saeed El driving down the middle, getting a floater to go right there for his only bucket. Then a nice steal by Losini Kamara for Park Center as he gets the layup after that takeaway. Race Thompson, watch this one, just turns, faces up, rises up, and scores. As he had 6 field goals in that first half. Tamba came off the bench and provided a little spark. Missed that one, but Danger, the putback there for Park Center, as he had a nice one. Here's Tamba then driving and finishing. The energy left-hander there for Park Center. Danger got the ball inside, dribbled it back out when he was doubled, and then went reverse layup. That was a very nice move for Park Center. Here's Kahari Broadway finishing on a drive. That was a little bit after he'd gotten knocked in the mouth and had his mouth bloodied while taking a charge. So good to see him coming back in and performing well. Kamara with 9, Danger with 7, and Broadway 6 to lead things for Park Center. Thompson 15 in the first half. Ben Iniger, nice first half off the bench with 9 points for the Falcons. We will be back here to Plymouth and Armstrong High School on CCX Sports in just a moment.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
And welcome back here to Armstrong. 39-36 Park Center, our score here. And we've got some great basketball in the Northwest Suburban Conference again this year. No secret to that, as a couple of the best teams in the state. Here's a look at the West right now, and Armstrong is actually tied for first in the West side with Maple Grove at 9-1. See, Park Center right now has dropped into a tie for third with Osseo, but even Totino at 3-7 is a good basketball team. And then on the north side, the other side of the conference, Champlain Park, well, they've got this one pretty much put away. A great team, they're ranked number 1 in the state and 10-0, and not nearly as strong of a deep side of the conference, I'd say, definitely. But the Rebels are a great team, and they're going to be playing Maple Grove Monday. We'll have that one for you on CCX Sports. And how big a game is that? That tells you right there. Champlain Park number 1, Maple Grove number 2 in the state. Also locally, we've got Wayzata in at number 4, Hopkins number 6, and Armstrong, this Falcon team, is number 10. Park Center did spend some time in the rankings earlier on in the season, but dropped out after those recent losses here. So we'll take a quick break, come back with more here from Armstrong High School. You're watching Northwest Suburban Basketball on CCX Sports. Back at Armstrong, and let's go down to Lisa with Coach Miller.
So clearly earlier when we talked, you said that rebounding was really something that you needed to look out for. How do you think that affected the first half play?
Well, I didn't see the stats, but it seemed like we rebounded decent on the defensive end. We were giving them too many easy shots, though, just layups getting to the bucket. We got to take some charges. I thought Race, really rebounded, and Gabe got some big ones. I think rebounding wasn't the worst thing. I think that we had some bad turnovers, and we let them just straight line drive us.
Clearly, Race has gotten some points up in this first half. What else do you want to see from your offense in the second half?
Better ball movement. That's what we talked about at halftime. We held the ball. That's one of our bugaboos sometimes. We want to make the big play right away instead of just trusting the next easy pass. If we do that, we'll be all right, I think.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa, and thanks, Coach Miller here as the Pirates leading his Falcons by a score of 39-36. And it's always interesting to hear a little bit, what the expectations were from the coaches and what they saw. A lot of times it matches what we think, but not always, because they see their teams day in, day out of practice. They know what they're capable of and what they need to do in the second half.
Well, you heard Coach Miller just talking about ball movement. And then what we were talking about early, Jay, when sometimes your primary player scoring all of your points, the ball becomes stopped and it gets stuck. So look for them this second half, probably to look for Race inside. But if they don't get them, swing the ball maybe one or two times, get PC moving a little bit. And so that way, it'll be a little bit easier to get other players involved. PC, of course, they understand that backdoor cutting, and I'm sure that's going to be something easy to eliminate. You just tell your players to just watch for it because you know what's coming. So PC I'm going to say that they're going to pick up the pace, even though Coach Ware says they're going to slow down, because that's their strength and that's their skill set. So let's look for that this second half.
Cook will inbound here for Park Center as we get our second half going, as Kamara will bring it into the front court here for Park Center. Ogechi around to Kamara. Danger had Thompson pinned briefly, but they couldn't get it to him. Now Kamara to Cook. Cook called for a carry right there. It got a little awkward. I think he intended to pass and then sort of changed his mind, although I'm not sure he dribbled again. So I don't know if it could be a carry, but it looked awkward. So that
anytime it looks awkward, Jay, they're blowing the whistle. If they haven't seen it before, beep, they're blowing it.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't a travel, but it was just a little bit different look. Here's Thompson, a little pull up here, and he hits.
Big fella putting the ball on the floor. He's got a nice skill set.
You can see, and we understand there's a few college programs in attendance here tonight. He's got a lot of looks from people around the country. Smooth at that size, and obviously good basketball skill too. He's got a lot going for him as a recruit. Here's Ogechi pulling up. No good there, but knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Danger, apparently, and it will be Armstrong ball.
So we were talking about Race Thompson. He's smooth, kind of plays the game at one pace. And so I'm looking for that next level. I mean, the motor hasn't even kicked in. He's got that amazing body. So when he gets at the collegiate level, I'm sure he's going to be pushed to improve that motor because he's got a tremendous skill set.
Here's Rollins, who had 3 fouls in that first half. Gets it to Thompson. Excellent look inside. No good on the shot, but Draper will go to the free throw line. We talked about Thompson, and there's a way what you talked about. that, you get Race the ball and it creates good things for others too, and I think he recognizes that. I mean, obviously he's their best player by far, but you can't have one guy scoring all your points either.
Right. I mean, all he has to do is just stay patient and allow the double teams to come. He certainly has the height and size to see over the top, so if he gets double team, all they need is a basket cut, and it's an open layup or at least an attempt for free throws.
Draper gets 1 out of 2, so we stay tied. That was his first point of the night, 39-39. Armstrong led early in the first half, and then Park Center passed them by and stayed in the lead and had a lead of 3 at halftime. Kamara to Cook. Back to Cook from Ogechi here. Kicks it back to Derek Ogechi, and he hits the 3. Nice offense there for the Pirates.
Ogechi knocking down that open three-point shot. PC being very patient. Ball started on one side, swung to the next. They were patient, didn't take a tough shot, and they were able to find an open player.
Thompson whipping it across there, and Draper just could not handle it.
There's PC, dribble drive penetration, didn't panic or shoot a bad layup, was able to kick it out, and that's how PC can stay in this game.
Kamara bringing it up against Saeed El. Cook nearly fell there, but he kept that pivot foot. Broadway driving it and finishes. Nice layup there. He got a step on his defender, and the other Pirates stayed out of the way so that the help defense couldn't get there.
You want spacing.
And knocked away off of Ogechi. It looked like Thompson might have grabbed his shoulder there as he went after that one, so they'll get it back. So look at Broadway, the strong drive. Thompson had that one blocked in traffic. Now back out to Hostetler, and in and out. Danger the rebound. Park Center trying to build on a 5-point lead. Kamara to Cook. He'll let it fly, and in and out. Rollins looking to come back the other way. To Hostetler. Nice D by Ogechi, though he stayed down on the floor. And then Rollins the miss. Thompson goes strong to the rebound, though, and draws a foul on Danger.
Looks like that might be Danger's 3rd foul there, Jay. So that's a good sign for Armstrong there. But, Danger had no choice. I mean, that would have been an easy basket right there for Thompson. He's got to kind of stay connected to him and stick to him and make sure he puts a butt on him and box him out, because that's another way that Race Thompson eats, off the offensive glass.
Thompson now 3 for 3 at the line. You see Armstrong hasn't been to the line much, which maybe to a certain extent isn't a surprise because they're a team that shoots the ball from the perimeter a fair amount. But Park Center's done a good job of not fouling a lot here on the road. To get to the second half with that few of free throw attempts for your opponent's a good thing.
Pete C doing a good job just keeping people in front of him. So that's going to force the opponent to shoot from the outside. So no dribble drive lanes there for Armstrong available. So they're forced to shoot it from the perimeter.
Cook firing, and in and out. Saeed El the rebound. And this guy can go. Drive no good. Hostetler, though, cleans it up.
Hostetler cleaning it up.
Armstrong to within a point now, 44-43. Broadway to Danger at the high post. Kamara looking to turn the corner, flips the pass over to Danger, and he scores with the left hand. Nice assist there by Kamara as well.
Danger's got to be careful. He probably could have gotten called for an offensive screen there. So he's got to make sure that he's still and established, because you don't want to get that 4th foul.
Thompson makes it look easy. Just a flick of the wrist there from about 18, and it's in, 46-45.
So big and strong. I mean, he just gets the ball in that shooting pocket and just finishes really, really nice up top.
Kamara thought about it. Now we'll give it over to Cook. Ogechi chased back out. Broadway behind the back, gets into the lane, but Thompson knocked it free, and now a fast break opportunity here. Rollins, layup is good. Armstrong back in front on that hoop, 47-46. Kamara to the middle. Thompson knocks it loose and another steal. Rollins handing it over. Saeed El for the layup, and Armstrong has it rolling right now. And a timeout taken by Coach Ware as he has seen his team cough it up a couple times in a row here.
You know, last 2 possessions, Thompson also showing his presence on the defensive end, not by blocking shots, but actually getting his hands on balls, getting a deflection and giving his team a fast break opportunity. So PC needs to take care of the ball a little bit more. You know, Thompson does have the ability to knock the ball from your hands, so they got to handle the ball a little bit more strong.
Saeed El getting that layup, so 49-46 Armstrong lead. Coach Ware trying to cut the momentum, but also, you know, give a little instruction here on. I thought they, you know, early in the second half they were doing some good things offensively, but obviously turnovers are never good, but especially turnovers that lead directly to a hoop.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. If you're going to turn the ball over, then you got to sprint back. But, you know, Coach Ware spoke about the idea of the emotional roller coaster. So with this timeout, able to kind of regather the troops and get them back mentally engaged, because with an emotional roller coaster, and you and I talked about it, Jay, before the broadcast, how young people sometimes can put their head down and check out before it's time to. So Coach Ware, excellent time out there. Get the troops rallied again. They can get back into this game just only down 3.
It'll be Park Center basketball out of the timeout situation here. Obviously still plenty of time to go in this one, and a couple of just many good teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference this season here. And I really, you know, you get the feeling with Park Center that this is starting to be something that'll last. They've got some good youth players coming up. I've been hearing about, and some good young ones who are already on the varsity. And Coach Ware is doing a good job, and I think this is going to be a program to watch for the years to come. Bonner misses. Saeed El into the front court here. Race Thompson now with Purnell defending him as Danger gets a break. They try to screen for Thompson to get him free in the post. And now he gets to it. And Broadway coming over on the double, nearly had the steal. Draper back out. Hostetler the drive and the floater, but it's wide left. Bonner to Ogechi here as Park Center a chance to cut it to 1 or to tie it with a 3-point shot. Ogechi coming to the top now to Kamara, and he'll shoot it from that left wing, and we are tied up.
Kamara, that was a big basket right there for PC. They needed one, and especially from their leader. He was able to get himself in position, and, you know, like you said, Jay, he can stroke it from the 3-point line.
Saeed El. Thompson open for a 3. That one dances in and out. Kamara able to save it. Bonner to Ogechi. Spins and blocked by Thompson, but a foul call. I think he might have got ball up top, but then banged into him with the body.
PC able to dribble, penetrate, and look for the outside kick. There was a strong side help right there.
That's Kamara tying it up. It was the foul on Race Thompson, which is his first, and Ogechi will head to the line here for the Pirates. 9 points for Derek now.
You know, PC, they have basketball players on the court, but many of these players also play football. If you look at their physical prowess, all these guys, you know, they got, you know, nice strong legs and big upper bodies. Coach Ware really working on their weightlifting program, trying to build their bodies so to help them give them a better competitive edge.
Ogechi makes a pair, so the Pirates back in front by 2. Iniger, who had that good first half, back in their handling, now gets it to Green as they've made some substitutions. Miller also in their handling. See, they're getting much more movement now of the ball and their players out of that timeout. Thompson across to Iniger, and bumped by Bonner. Foul call on Bonner will be his first. Really kind of an unnecessary one. He had him really basically with nowhere to go, but just got too aggressive and bodying him out. Tomba will come back in for Park Center. In it comes. Iniger lost it in the way up. Slipped out of his hand, and then Bonner was fouled as they tried to clamp a double team on him, and Calvin Green got him across the arm. And looks like Purnell might have a little blood on. Oh no, just sweat on the floor, it looks like, or maybe water from that last time out. Thought he was coming over like he was injured there, but they were just pointing at the floor and letting him know. So Bonner will inbound to Kamara here. Park Center leading by 2, trying to get a split of the season series with Armstrong here, as the Falcons beat Park Center by 6 over in Brooklyn Park a little less than a month ago. And I think we're going to have a hold call there on Saeed El as he was trying to deny Kamara the ball and got his arms wrapped around him a little bit. So the foul's starting to pick up a little bit. We didn't have many early part of the half, but now we've had, 3-4 trips down in a row where we've had a foul. Armstrong looking to get up a little more aggressively in their man-to-man, looks like right now, trying to put a little more pressure on the ball. And Tomba stepped out.
Got too deep down there. He had middle penetration towards the lane. He maybe should have just jabbed and took it middle. That way you attract the defender maybe, and you can get a kick out for an open shot.
Saeed El handing it over to Miller, dumping it inside. Thompson, a nice flick, one-hand pass back out, and Green gets the 3 to drop. Thompson gets the assist on that one as he taps it back out of the double. 52-51, Falcons by 1.
That's called basketball IQ there. Ball was in flight, and Thompson already knew the next play.
Ogechi puts Park Center back in front as he knocks down that little baseline pull-up. They'll come back into Race Thompson here. Spins baseline and kicks it over. Here's Iniger lining up a 3, and that is good as he continues to have a great night here. 12 points for the junior for Armstrong.
Iniger, you know, one of those intangible guys. He can make shots, he can dribble drive, smart, knows how to move without the ball. A lost art today. Gets himself in position to let Race create for him. Then he spots up and just knocks it down. Easy basketball, easy basketball.
Back to Purnell, and he will shoot that one up, no good. There's Tomba in the middle up for the rebound, and he scores it. He's definitely not the biggest guy in that pack of guys, but he goes up and gets it.
He's determined.
Here's the drive the other way. Saeed El gets the finger roll to drop. Armstrong by 2 now. Kamara to Ogechi for 3, and no good with that one. Tomba the save.
Good hustle.
Wow, did a good job. So Park Center will inbound, but first we're going to have a timeout taken here as Armstrong leading it by 2 as you got to look at Saeed El on the drive and finish.
That has to hurt if you're PC. Just allowing one per player to dribble the ball the full length of the court and make an easy layup. So Coach Ware is now bringing it back in Dane Danger, try to sew up any kind of penetration up there and keep people in front of us. You know, that's how they got the lead at the halftime, really keeping people in front of them, no easy layups, forcing Armstrong to shoot the perimeter shot. But late in this second half right now, Armstrong's been doing a pretty good job getting into the paint. And then also Race Thompson allowing the double team to happen, creating for the team, maybe finding the outside perimeter player for easy open shot.
Well, here's a good indication too for Armstrong. 7 different guys have scored in the second half alone. You know, all 5 starters have, and then also Green and Iniger off the bench. So,
and we talked about that. You know, just sharing the ball and making sure that everyone stays a part of the game, because as you get later into the game, then all of a sudden more pressure and more presence is going to be around Race Thompson. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play.
Yeah, you don't want somebody's first shot of the game to be, something with a minute to go in the game either. I mean, you need to be involved in the game a little bit, and so you have to kind of keep that in mind too. Like I said earlier, it's never a bad option to go to Race Thompson, but you can't do that every single time.
You get too predictable.
Back out Park Center, trying to grab that lead back as we've gone back and forth here in a good second half. Pass tipped. Kamara just barely able to recover it. Now Broadway. He's had some effective moments here tonight. Drives it, got it to Danger in the middle of traffic and scores with the left hand. That was not an easy catch. The shot was tough too, but to catch that ball in the middle of all that traffic, that was a nice play.
And being a freshman playing against one of the premier players in the country, I mean, that's an awesome finish.
Tie game. Thompson will kick it back out. Saeed El for three, and it is good.
Big shot right there by Saeed.
So Armstrong back in front by 3 as we go under 8 to play in this one. And Miller nearly the steal. Kamara to Danger. He'll face up and shoot that one. A little bit too hard with that as Thompson got out to bother it. Now Saeed El turns on the speed. Here's Race Thompson, but he missed the dunk. And now back the other way. Tamba attacking, no good. Purnell rebounds and is hammered by Iniger. Well, Race Thompson not able to finish as you get a look at that nice play by Danger.
Like that ball fake Danger did. He faked right, penetrated left as we see. Another 3-point shot by Armstrong.
So Saeed El knocking down that last 3 to give his team the lead back. Purnell to the free throw line here for the Pirates, and no good with that one. Thompson will come out, and I think the feeling might have been that dunk attempt, he looked tired, and I know he's going to get a little grief from his guys probably on that one.
Yeah, no, Coach Miller had that face like, so you missed the dunk, but you're the last guy back, and that is never a good look, and for coaches, they don't appreciate that, because if you're going to miss, then you got to be the first guy back.
2-point lead after 1 free throw good by Purnell. Here's Draper cutting down the middle, scores and 1. They've done a good job of sealing off Draper most of the time, but not that time, and he's able to finish nicely. That was a big hoop. That's not a guy who's necessarily one of their main scorers, but he did a heck of a job here finishing that one.
Armstrong, they run that wheel where they do dribble handoff, penetrate kick, and slowly they lull you to sleep. And Draper was able to see that gap there and attack the basket for easy 2.
Big 3-point play there for Draper. He averages 3.7 a game and now has 4 in this one for the Falcons. But that was a big hoop, 5-point lead. Danger in the middle of a double team looking to attack. And he finishes strong. Nice hoop there.
You know what I like about him, Jay? Every time he catches it, he ball fakes. So it moves his defender. He's able to get deeper in position and able to finish around the basket a little bit easier.
Yeah, you get the feeling that he's been trained pretty well. He doesn't look like a freshman in terms of his footwork and things like that you talked about.
He's one of those late bloomers. I was just down here. I saw Coach Kamadi Young from the Minnesota Gophers, and he said, hey, that number 44, I like him. And he started asking me, he said, didn't his dad play with you guys? So now he's, getting the attention from the Gophers. But he was a late bloomer, and they just kind of found him last year, and he's, starting to excel under Coach Ware.
Well, they had that backdoor cut several times in the first half. That one didn't quite connect. Miller tried to go to Iniger, and they just weren't on the timing wasn't there, and it just bounces harmlessly out of bounds. So Park Center down 3 as they get to the front court. Purnell looking to attack, and Iniger, too physical on the defense there, will be called for the foul.
Okay, Coach Miller said, okay, Race, get back into the game, because he recognizes PC is going to, really try to attack the paint when he's not in there. So they're making that adjustment to try to keep PC, eliminate any kind of dribble drives, anything like that.
Inbounded to Purnell here. Kamara looked inside. Now Purnell will try to get it there, but Thompson read it well and gets the steal. Hostetler to Saeed El. They get the set from the bench here as Coach Miller wants them to spread things out a little bit. Saeed El attacking down the middle, but missed it. Now Kamara looks to push it back the other way for the Pirates. To Cook. And in and out. Purnell the rebound, and that one won't drop. Finally controlled by Armstrong. Thompson's pass, though, knocked away by Cook to Broadway. Purnell almost stolen by Thompson. Now it is. Wow, good hands, good read on that one. Then Broadway knocks it out of bounds.
Thompson tried to go for the home run, and PC picked it off, but, you know, he made up for it. He made a mistake, and the one thing you teach kids, when you make a mistake, just get the ball back. And he was able to get a steal and a great hustle play, get the ball back and get the possession.
And it was quick hands, but I think even more so than that, it was quick mind. He read what was going to happen and jumped into it ahead of time.
Yeah, you can see he's maybe one level, one speed in front of everyone else. He can see, you know, things that develop before most of the players on the basketball court, but that's why he's one of the top players in the country right now.
Saeed El will be called for the travel. He kind of had that ball on his hip as he made his move there. He didn't think so, but official felt otherwise, so it will be Pirates ball here. 5:05 to go in the game. Armstrong by 3. And we're going to have a timeout before that one. And
Coach Miller's asking, why? Why? What happened?
I have to, at first glance, I did not really see it as a travel either, and Coach Miller didn't. He's siding with his player on that one.
Right. It looks like he's asking for the foul. You know, PC, they get in your body, and Saeed, he's a smaller, slender kind of fella, but he has wheels. He's very quick and explosive. But PC, they like to really put their body against you, and it forced that travel. Yeah, I didn't see much right there.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. Probably the cuff.
Yeah.
The cuff, you know, as we were talking about, Jay, when referees don't see actions on the court that they normally see, they tend to say, okay, that's a violation, but it didn't look too bad to me.
Park Center will inbound here as they trail it by 3. Has every indication of being a game that might go down to the wire here, as these teams have stayed close throughout most of the second half. Broadway trying to look inside. Thompson knocked it away again. Here's Saeed El. Back for the trailer. Thompson, and it rolls out, but he'll go to the free throw line. Nice break, and they found the trailer there.
I think I've counted just this second half, Thompson with 4 knockaways. You know, someone tries to beat him off the dribble, and he's able to get his hands in there and get a deflection. But he didn't give up on the play. He got the steal and got out on the fast break. Has an opportunity to knock down 2.
Bonner called for the foul. Free throw is good. Bonner got some congratulations, though, because he didn't give up a layup. I mean, his teammates said, well, you know, we at least make him earn him, although the bad news for them, though, is that Race Thompson is a good free throw shooter. And he makes a pair here. So Armstrong's lead is back to 5 now at 65-60. Ogechi being hounded by Saeed El out high here.
Really impressed with Armstrong's one-on-one defense, their guard defense. When they get you on one side, they keep you on one side. As you can see, Rollins forcing side. They want to cut off one half of the court and make you play on one side, and they do a really good job keeping guards in front of them.
Danger trying to attack. The double team arrives, but a foul call on Green, who maybe better settle it down or he might get teed up there as he went dancing out of there.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the bad side of the referee with 4 minutes, 14 seconds up 5 as he gets his hands caught in the cookie jar. Maybe a little contact there, a little too much hand-hand contact.
Yeah, I think Danger had actually kind of lost the ball a little bit already, but then he ran into him. And Danger will be fouled here. So he tried to get that ball up in traffic. And Danger looks like he might have hurt his wrist. Looks like the foul was on Draper. I'm wondering if Danger maybe didn't get one of those elbow funny bone kind of things possibly, or maybe it is the wrist. That's what he's holding. So let's hope it's nothing too terribly serious here, but he looks like he's in some pain right now.
Yeah, well, his Uncle Mario Green's in the stands, and I'm sure I played with Mario in college. He's probably telling him to suck it up because his team does need him.
And so Cook will shoot the free throws for him. Danger has to come out, so Cook makes the first one.
Yeah, I just saw him touch his elbow, Jay. Looked like that funny bone. Hit that funny bone, so he's got a little stinger there.
Yeah, and that hurts like mad for a little bit, but it's not as bad as if it was, you know, something like a bone.
Just got to, you know, open and close his fist a little bit and be all right.
3-point game as Cook makes a pair. So Park Center, they have Danger have to come out, but they get 2 clutch free throws from Cook. Important for Armstrong to keep attacking here, I think. They can't say, look, we're going to protect our lead here. We need to keep scoring the ball. Doesn't mean you take, you know, bad shot or anything like that, maybe, but Kamara up with it. Now Ogechi, he had it blocked. Thompson comes away with it. And the Pirates thought he had traveled there. I think he was going to turn and throw it up court and then decided not to. Saeed El had it stripped away by Broadway. Broadway jump stop there, but missed it. Gets it back, however, and it won't go again. Purnell trying to save it, but it bounced off Draper right to Rollins. And timeout taken here by Armstrong with 3:07 to go in our ball game, and now things have, you know, we've had a lot of smooth offense for a time there, but now we're seeing some turnovers, some battles back and forth. Probably Park Center's got to say, what do we do to get the ball in the hoop here?
You know, Broadway was in deep there, but, you know, we teach young players when you're in deep like that, go to the bank. You know, use the bank shot and put it off the window, because that, believe me, is a very, very difficult shot. You think as close as it is, but when you're in traffic, that's a hard, and you got Race Thompson just lurking, that's a hard shot to make.
See, Armstrong's committed 7 fouls and Park Center 5 in the second half so far as we head down the stretch, and Armstrong maintaining a 3-point lead. So Saeed El will bring it up here for the Falcons. He really wants to attack. When they come out aggressive at him, he's kind of putting his head down and going to take it at him.
And Kamara, he's just like, no, you're not going anywhere, little fella.
Armstrong really looking to, I think, kind of spread him out and see if they can't get a layup out of it and use some time.
Yeah, but like you said, Jay, you don't want to get into this right now. You know, you kind of want to go inside to the big fella. Yep.
Oh, offensive foul. Danger takes the charge as Thompson lowers the shoulder a little bit. Let's take a look at this one. He sold it well.
He sold it well. He sold it, and that's what it's all about. You got to make the referee call it.
So Park Center, they've had a chance to, you know, get right back in and take the lead back or tie it up a few times, and not. Actually, both teams have gone pretty cold. Here's Bonner going to shoot a 3, no good, and Thompson up big for the board there for Armstrong. Thompson will hand it off. Saeed El. Here's Rollins coming out to get it. Baseline, Saeed El, too strong, but Iniger, a nice rebound. However, he stepped on the end line after grabbing that rebound, so it will be Park Center basketball.
You know, Iniger, he's a really good fit for Armstrong, because what he's able to do is he does the hustle things. You know, he can knock down the perimeter shot, He gets you a second chance there, just crashing the boards. You know, really like the way he plays. It's intelligent. He moves without the ball. And those kind of guys are the guys that you need on a team. Those are the kind of guards that make your team a lot better.
There's the rebound, and couldn't quite see. I think it was the foot right before that right foot that they had called out. It's hard to see it, but the official was right there, so he must have seen it. It was a good veteran crew too, so it will. It was good effort, but it'll be Park Center basketball. Pirates, as we said earlier, talked about trying to break a 3-game losing streak, although not an easy stretch. You play. They really gave Champlain Park all they could handle.
Yeah.
Okay, it ended up being a 10-point game, but they cut it to 2 quite late in that game. And then the next game is against the number 2 team, who you've handed their only defeat of the year, Maple Grove. You knew they were going to be coming for them. And then their rival Osseo on Tuesday. They beat Osseo big the first time at Osseo. Osseo came back and got them right back on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's a very competitive conference, and you just have these neighborhood battles. I mean, Champlain Park and Park Center, those kids could either go there or they could go there. So, they're playing up in the youth leagues against each other and even together sometimes. That's a very, very competitive conference.
See what Coach Ware has drawn up to get his team a hoop here. They're down 3 as they've been for several possessions in a row. Neither team has been able to get much going lately, and that's going to be a turnover as try to get it to Ogechi, and Kamara says my fault. And, I give a little bit of the credit, though, to the pressure D too.
Absolutely. Give Miller that credit there. On ball, good defense, sliding his feet, being physical about it and forcing them into a turnover.
Here's Saeed El, no good, but he'll go to the line as Cook tried to draw the charge, but he was way under the hoop there. And Saeed El almost had the layup go. Instead, he'll get free throws out of it.
Yeah, that's a rule change now.
Yeah, and he slid way over late, too.
Yeah, he slid over late. But now when you're too deep underneath the basket, referees are not rewarding with charges. They're either saying a no call or a block.
Yeah, and he, besides being so deep, as we saw in that replay, he was still sliding for sure. That was definitely the right call there.
Yeah.
Makes the first a chance to make it a 5-point game. Second one is off target, though. So the Pirates down 4. Minute 20 to go as Ogechi gets it into the front court. Broadway stepped into a double team there, nearly loses it, but gets it over for Cook now for a 3, and it's good.
Oh, timing was perfect right there for Cook. They needed that as they cut into this lead. It's a 1-point game now.
Almost knocked it away from Saeed El. He'll kick it back out to Miller.
Armstrong, they can't play scared. They got to go ahead and attack. If they get something, they got to attack. Because when you try to stall like this is when bad things happen.
Miller is hurt. Isaiah Miller, I'm wondering if this might be a cramp, the way he just kind of crumbled to the floor there. Another look at Cook. You got a good play to not panic by Broadway on that double team, because it looked to me like it was a good idea for Armstrong to slap that double on him, but he ends up finding an open teammate because he didn't panic.
And you appreciate just the heart of Cook willing to take that shot. With 1 minute left, most players, they might, back down from that challenge there, but he was very decisive, very determined, and just knocked it down.
Inbounded to Saeed El here. Under 45 seconds to go now. Armstrong leading by a point, and they're going to try and draw a foul. Oh, they almost turned it over. Timeout, Falcons.
That's what I was saying, Jay. They had an opportunity to score there. As Saeed penetrated to the basket, the corner guy should have just rolled with them. Trying to play this stall ball, that's what, bad things happen when you do that. If you get a scoring opportunity, go for the win instead of trying to play not to lose.
Although I will say I think they're doing what their coach told them now, too. So.
Absolutely.
66-65. Boy, they almost turned that ball over at half court. And a timeout granted there with 35.7 to go here. So I'm sure Park Center right now discussing a little bit, too, okay, if we want to foul somebody, who out there should we be looking to target? Obviously, first you'd like to get a steal.
Well, you definitely know you don't want to foul Thompson because he's a great free throw shooter. I would imagine Rollins is also a good free throw shooter. Saeed just knocked some down. You got Draper. He's pretty decent. So, Coach Miller putting the best, his best 5 free throw shooters out on the floor. So can't go wrong either way.
Sure, Coach Miller probably telling his guys too now. We don't want to turn the ball over, but if we're going to do it, don't do it at half court.
Oh, no.
Make it be under the hoop or something, because they would have, had they turned that ball over there, they would have given up an easy opportunity probably at the other end. Inbounded to Thompson, now Saeed El. Those are probably the 2 guys they want handling it the most. And Broadway takes the foul there and will send Saeed El to the free throw line.
Broadway needs to be careful because, 2 hands on a player, referee can maybe sometimes misinterpret that, end up being an intentional foul. So if you're going to make a foul, just make a strong foul.
Coach Miller trying to plead the case for that, although I think, just trying to plant a seed there. I don't know that he really was sure on that one. There's Saeed El getting the free throw to go. Last time around, he made the first and missed the second. So this obviously a big one here to make it a 3-point lead instead of 2. And again, misses the second. So the Pirates a chance to tie it or go in front here. Bonner into the front court, and Coach Ware is going to take a timeout here and get drawn up exactly what he wants. So interesting one down the stretch here. And
I wonder, Jay, does Coach Ware go for it and say, hey, we're going to get off a 3 and we're going to win it in regulation? I wonder, will he do it? And, the reason why I say that is you've lost 3 games in a row. So maybe if you go for it and you're aggressive like that, where you say, hey, you know what, we're going to go for the win in regulation, and you get it, can you imagine the energy and the optimism that you'll have for the next coming games, that you came into Armstrong after they beat you at their place, and then you went for it and you executed it and made it happen. And in a young team like that, sometimes that's enough to get them back into the fold of things, buying in, re-energized, because really, we're coming to the season close right now, so 4 or 5 losses can really, start to force some players to mentally kind of check out. So I'd be interested to see what he's going to do. I see Dane coming back into the game, so maybe they're going to look for him in the low post, possibly even look for maybe Kamara to come off a screen and roll, and if he doesn't have the open shot, look inside for Dane. But should be something creative because Coach Ware is a very vast playbook.
See, both teams have shot the ball pretty well from the line here tonight. And that's something to keep in mind, too. Obviously, Armstrong right now has 8 team fouls, so any foul they commit would send Park Center to the line here. So you want to play tough, aggressive D, but not foul. Inbounded to Kamara, and here we go.
Look for Cook as well. Cook just knocked down an open 3-point shot, so look for Cook.
Here is Broadway looking to attack. Oh, and he's going to get free throws. Wow, I think he got bailed out a little bit there. He was way off balance, but he will go to the free throw line.
Coach Ware went to the mismatch there. Rollins was matched up with Broadway there, but Broadway more of a physical player who can attack off the dribble drive. But, that's what we always tell players. Put it in the referee's hands. Be aggressive and go strong.
And he misses the first free throw. Now Broadway was about to fall down, but there was definitely contact. I can see the foul call even more so by looking at that replay. Broadway now cannot tie it, and he misses the second one as well, and then Danger comes over the top and picks up the foul. So Armstrong will head to the other end and shoot free throws after the Pirates miss a pair. It's a 4th foul on Danger, but at that point in the game, you go for it. I mean, it's a good aggressive play to try and get that rebound.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, had to, you have Race Thompson at the line, and he has the experience to knock it down from the free throw line, but still not over. I mean, maybe it's a 2-possession game. You can score quick, get a 2-point, call a timeout, set up with some defensive pressure or press, get a steal, get right back into this.
Thompson is about an 80% free thrower too, and free throw is good. So he makes it a 2-possession game at 69-65. And now another timeout taken here as Park Center needs to get something up quick.
You know, it's still plenty of time, 13, if they can get it inbounds. A good push by maybe Kamara. Maybe if he gets in the lane, maybe a kick out to Cook for an open three-point shot. Maybe Kamara can penetrate and catch Dane, dive into the basket. You know, get it done in 7-8 seconds. Set up some defense, use another foul. Game's still not over.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember that the Falcons will be back here hosting Osseo on Monday, February 6th. The varsity game will begin at 7 p.m. They're then on the road for 3 straight games, returning to host Maple Grove on February 17th.
So Park Center working things, what they need to do, and then obviously, you know, you try and, if you can, score quick and then foul quick, more than likely would be what their ideal scenario would be. Oh, reminder, we got a great one coming up for you on Monday night here on CCX Sports. Is number 1 versus number 2 as Maple Grove and Champlain Park do battle. It will be Broadway inbounding here, gets it to Kamara. Kamara on the run, floater won't go, batted around to the corner, saved by Armstrong, and Draper is going to be fouled, and looks like the Falcons are going to hang on to win this one. 3 seconds left.
PC was in a position to tie it up, you know, unfortunately couldn't make those free throws at the end. Gave themselves an opportunity to win this game, just came up a little short.
Draper's free throw is good. Misses the second, 70-65. One last try for Cook, will not go. And it is Armstrong winning it to get the season sweep here against Park Center. Good basketball game here. It was a fun one.
Oh, yeah. It was very, very entertaining. PC, they came in here after a 3-game losing streak, but they performed well. A young team that Coach Ware was a little concerned with. Would they be able to emotionally pick themselves up? But they did a great job. Unfortunately, you know, Race Thompson a little too much for him today. Armstrong, ball pressure on the perimeter, really keeping PC out of the lane. Gave Armstrong an opportunity for the win tonight.
So 70-65 Falcons the final. We'll take a break and come back with more of our live coverage of Northwest Suburban basketball here on CCX Sports. Armstrong with the win here at home over a good Park Center team, 70-65. And let's go back down now to Lisa with a couple of happy Falcons.
I'm currently here with Race Thompson and Devontae Saidel as they just got the win versus Park Center. First off, Race, this is your 5th win in a row. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. We're working really hard in practice, just working on everything we can do better and just executing in the game, doing what we can do to get the W.
So in the second half, clearly you were their defensive center of attention, right? So how did you change your offense game to kind of combat that?
I always try to be versatile when I get doubled. I get doubled mostly every game. So I know my teammates when I'm passing the ball, I know they're going to knock down the shot. So it's just, we practice that every day and it works every time. So that's just what we do.
Devontae, so clearly it was a close game, very close. What did you guys talk about in that final timeout?
Basically just staying calm and just believing in each other to pull it out.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Lisa, and congratulations to the Falcons for the win here tonight, 70-65, as they improve to 10-1 in the division and 12-5 overall. And Park Center falling to 11-6, and they are 6-5 in conference games. Well, hope you've enjoyed this telecast here tonight from Armstrong. For Ariel McDonald, Lisa Adams, and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Again, your final 70-65 Falcons.